Всем прив. Снова мы в Драгоняке сидим. О, у меня реально уровень повысился. А почему? А, и тут появилась. Мне надо, кстати, ловкость качать. Кроме хитрости. Да. Хочу яды прокачать. Убеждение успеется. Как так? Я вообще сегодня... Меня срубило на часов 12-11, не знаю. Но после недельной работы неудивительно. Потом я успела порыдать, поворчать. Все как обычно. И я ни хера не помню, что нам нужно делать. Тут сразу переход, но я бы хотела побегать. К Флемент я зайти не могу. Погромче бы сделать. После апекса какой-то звук, но очень тихий. Так, хотя бы пусть будет. Это фигня. Почему так тихо? А, я его не приняла. Вот, теперь так получше. Так, ну сразу переход. Да? Тут ничего нет. Ничего не будет потрогать.
Right.
Ладно. Как и быть, идем дальше. Тут есть стоянка? Я только сейчас об этом узнала. Лол.
What do you need? You don't have to do that. I know you didn't know him as long as I did. I should have handled it better. Duncan warned me right from the beginning that this could happen. Any of us could die in battle. I shouldn't have lost it, not when so much is riding on us, not with the Blight and everything. I'm sorry. I'd like to have a proper funeral for him. Maybe once this is all done, if we're still alive. I don't think he had any family to speak of. You're right. This isn't really the time to mourn, is it? Not when there's so many who are still going to die unless we do something. Morning can come later. By the time the snows come, this will all be done one way or the other.
Мы с ним не мутим, если что. Это на второе прохождение. Я себя убеждаю в этом. Так, море это где? Хорватная хорошая. Как?
What do you wish of me? If you must. My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they... Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more. I am unsure. I was too young to understand, and perhaps 'twas bravado on Flemeth's part, or perhaps she was merely amused. I will never know. Flemeth would warn them, once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom. Sometimes, eventually. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum. I think that my mother made it fun so that a child did not learn to fear. And I think that it was necessary. There are no trials for apostates, no prisons, no mercy. There are only absolutes, so only survival matters. If the wilds have taught me anything, 'tis this. First, you must survive. Do you disagree? Oh? I would ask what exactly, but I'm certain that would be a lengthy conversation, and suddenly I grow very weary. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
Да ладно, я же согласилась с тобой. Алло. Или, блин, перевод кривой. Ладно. Я хотела что-то сделать, но забыла что. Ладно. Посмотрим пока на огонь, что ли. И опять замолчу микрофон, молодец. Блин, щит, конечно, огонь. Детализованный. Блин, а его можно поближе рассмотреть? Нет. Я хочу в Редклифф побыстрее попасть. Не знаю, получится ли.
And I expect each of you to supply these men. We must rebuild what was lost at Ostagar, and quickly. There are those who would take advantage of our weakened state if we let them. We must defeat this Darkspawn incursion, but we must do so sensibly and without hesitation.
Your lordship, if I might speak. You have declared yourself Queen Honora's regent, and claim we must unite under your banner for our own good. But what of the army lost at Ostagar? Your withdrawal was most fortuitous.
Everything I have done has been to secure Ferelden's independence. I have not shirked my duty to the throne, and neither will any of you!
The Banon will not bow to you simply because you demand it.
Understand this. I will brook no threat to this nation from you or anyone.
Van Tegan, please!
Your Majesty, your father risks civil war. If Eamon were here...
Van Tegan, my father is doing what is best.
Did he also do what was best for your husband, Your Majesty?
Cursed creatures.
Простите, блин, но он горяч. Я не знаю. Можете меня осуждать, я согласна. Дайте мне на него посмотреть, пожалуйста. Ладно, все, я спокойна, честно. Так. Ищем самого хренового. И, блин, мне надо было заготовить бомбы. Я тупая.
Your time to die!
Вот, пошли. Так, море. Ну-ка, хилки не подготовили. Да, сейчас у меня вообще хилок нет. Похилься. А я... этому...
Right. Let's get started.
Look at this! Next battle!
Опа. Сейчас сама сдохну.
Is it just me, or do you actually think you have a
I think he was out there looking for you. He's chosen you. Mabari are like that. They call it imprinting.
Does this mean we're going to have this mangy beast following us about now? Wonderful.
He's not mangy. Me? I don't want a dog. I can barely take care of myself.
So many comments come to mind, I cannot even begin to choose.
At any rate, he must remember you helping him back at Ostagar. You're imprinted. Lucky you. You're not going to leave him here, are you? This area's crawling with darkspawn. Well, super.
How odd. We now have a dog, and Alistair is still the dumbest one in the party.
Женщина, остынь. Ой, блин, а как его назвать? Блин, пудель будет держачно. Я назову его Ривки. Слушай, а ты можешь? Нет, он не может. Ну ладно. Так, круто. О, корень. Так. О. Так, Алистер, что у тебя по болячкам? Я могу сейчас прыгнуть в лагерь, чтобы тебя выбить? Ну ты жопой в памяти. Он вроде хитрость пострадала, пока что это нормально. Пусть полежит. Нет, да, поехали.
Wake up, gentlemen. More travelers to attend to. Led by a dwarf, oddly enough.
They don't look much like them others, you know. Maybe we should just let these ones pass.
Nonsense. Greetings, travelers.
Highwaymen, preying on those fleeing the darkspawn, I suppose.
They are fools to get in our way. I say, teach them a lesson.
Now, is that any way to greet someone? A simple 10 silvers, and you're free to move on.
What did I tell you? No wagons, and this one looks armed.
The toll applies to everyone, Henrik. That's why it's a toll, and not, say, a refugee tax.
Oh, right. Even if you're no refugee, you still gotta pay.
Indeed, for the upkeep of the Imperial Highway. It's a bit of a mess, isn't it? You want to pay more? Well, we'll happily accept donations. Wouldn't such a caravan be well guarded?
A whole caravan ripe for the picking.
Go on your way. We've got work to do.
Окей, не буду комментировать. Так, сохранить перед тем.
Yeah!
Move and parry, strike and kill.
Нет, подожди. Я помню то, что их, по-моему, можно сдать. Так что пока не будем их лутать.
Well, there it is. Lothering. Pretty as a painting.
Ah, so you have finally decided to rejoin us, have you? Falling on your blade in grief seemed like too much trouble, I take it.
Is my being upset so hard to understand? Have you never lost someone important to you? Just what would you do if your mother died?
Before or after I stopped laughing?
Right, very creepy. Forget I asked. Yes, I know. I was just thinking.
No wonder it took so long, then.
Oh, I get it. This is the part where we're shocked to discover how you've never had a friend your entire life.
I can be friendly when I desire to. Alas, desiring to be more intelligent does not make it so.
Anyway, I thought we should talk about where we intend to go first.
This should be good.
I think what Flemeth suggested is the best idea. These treaties, have you looked at? The treaties, the ones we got from Flemeth. With these, we will be able to... There are 3 main groups that we have treaties for. I also still think that Arleman is our best bet for help. We might even want to go to him first. Well, I don't know where we should go. I'll do whatever you decide.
Now that is unsurprising.
Arleman is a good man, but I don't know for sure he's where we should go. I'm not going to fight about it. Fair enough. Let's head into the...
Я не могу, он такой тупенький и миленький. Господи. Мы подберем тебе платьишко, честно, честно.
I have a wonder.
Почему тут удивлена? Так, это можно брать?
As you wish.
Можно? Окей. Блин, тут не поторговаться. Блин, Мори, а ты не умеешь крафтить зелья? Отлично. Ой. Хромовник.
Move on if you can. Lothering's lost. Thieves prey on the unfortunate. We've had refugees streaming from the south for the last 2 days. There simply isn't enough food to go around, and we Templars can barely keep order. You'd be better off elsewhere, my friend. I'm just out here to keep an eye out for Darkspawn. Please ask someone in town. No offense. The band has marched north with Tairn Loghain, so Lothering's on its own. Most folks look... Otherwise, you could speak to Sir Bryant in the Chantry, I suppose.
Эти побочки я не хочу пока делать. Беженец. Проповедник.
Back off. I have the right to charge what I wish.
You profit from their misfortune. I should have the template.
You wouldn't dare. Any of you step too close to my goods and I'll...
It's so nice to see everyone working together in a crisis. Warms the heart.
Oh, you there. You look able. Would you care to make a tiny profit helping a beleaguered businessman? Haha, I'm not the only one with...
He is charging outlandish prices for things people desperately need.
'Tis only survival of the fittest. All of these cretins would do the same in...
I have limited supplies. The people...
You bought most of your wares from these very people last week. Now they've...
Look, stranger, I've 100 silvers if you drive this rabble off, starting with that priest. I'm an honest merchant, nothing more. Would it help these folks if they could buy no goods at all?
They spend their very last coin because they are desperate, and this man preys upon...
Ah, I'm not arguing anymore. Drive off this woman and get your 100 silvers. Otherwise, I'm taking my wagon and leaving. Maker's breath. Sometimes it's truly not worth operating.
Just charge what you would have before this...
Fine, yes, just stop complaining.
So, we have come to solve every squabble in the village personally. My, but the Darkspawn...
Thank you for your generous assistance.
Да, бусинка. Ладно.
Your king is dead! The legions of evil are on your door!
Please, you're scaring the children!
Better to slit their throats now than let... There! One of their minions is already amongst us! This woman bears their evil stench! Can you not see the vile blackness that fills her? I watch the Black Horde descend on my people!
Please, stop!
But isn't he right? The ban left us.
This minion is but the first of those who will destroy us! My family, my clan, those creatures butchered them all. Some of us fled here, but we cannot escape the Darkspawn! I ran, hearing my wife's screams as they dragged her off. She had hair the same color as yours. You were right. I will go.
He was right, wasn't he? There's no hope for us. Then, what shall we do?
Your king is dead! There is no hope!
Кто тут орёт, блин, он же ушел. Так. Ладно, позади пам чуть накалено и пойдем дальше. Где он? Кален.
There's word of Darkspawn stragglers, but no sign of the main horde. We are the only hope of protection this village has now, and I will not abandon them. That is all. May the Maker have mercy on us.
And when the Maker spoke, a chant of light scattered in the darkness. The word dispelled fear and ignorance. Let those who cry out from the shadows be comforted.
And when the chant spreads across all four corners of the world, let it rise at last to the ears of the Maker.
You ever wonder if that's an accurate likeness of Andraste? Maybe she was ugly, Maybe she had buck teeth. How will we know?
Then shall the Maker return to us. And then shall the Maker return to the Black City in heaven. And then shall the chant of light make it pure. Let all mankind be humble. Let all repeat the chant of light. Only the word dispels the darkness upon us.
I don't like this place. Why did we come here?
Greetings to you, milady. If it isn't too much to ask, might you be able to spare some bread? We thought it would be safer in Lothering. Nobody cares about a few elves. Can you help us?
Never mind, Hale. It's no use. Nobody...
Блин, а где тебя хлеб достать? Не будь-то на побочке делать, да конечно, ложка, трошка. Блин, ну как тут? О, жилочка. Надо торговца найти. Тот, по-моему, торговцем был. Может, у него что-то купить можно? Давай поторгуемся.
Are you here to make my head ache, or do you actually want to buy something? It isn't much, but take...
Так, подожди. Да, беру шмот отряда. Кстати. Красотулька. А у тебя какая же река?
Are you here to make my head ache, or do you... It isn't much, but take a look if you want.
ставлю тебе твой лук. Блин, один хрен ты не пользуйся. И стрелы опять. Блин. Пойдет.
Are you here to make my head ache? It isn't much.
А у меня какое изготовление яда? Есть, отлично.
Are you here to make my head ache, or do you... It is...
Но замораживайся бомба получше будет. Зажигательная, ну фиг знает. Почему у меня щит не ясно?
Are you here to make my head ache, or do you actually...
Щит. Оружие. Ой, тут есть руна. Ты можно и купить. Но нет. Броня. Такое. Как-то снимок экрана сделал. Это когда чек получаешь, что-то как. Ладно.
I'm cold. I don't like this. Have you seen my mother? She's really tall, and she has some mean men with swords came, and Mother told me to run to the village. She said she'd be right behind me, but I've been waiting and waiting, and I can't see her. Why not? Why would she leave me here? But... no, she can't be dead. I'll find her.
Я ужасный человек.
So I take it you did not enjoy your Templar training?
That's directed at me, I take it.
Do you see any others about who have failed at their religious instruction?
I didn't fail. I was recruited into the Grey Wardens.
And if you had not been recruited, what would have happened instead?
I would have turned into a drooling lunatic, slaughtered the Grand Cleric, and run through the streets of Denham in my small clothes, I guess.
Your self-awareness does you credit.
I thought you'd like that.
О, Господи. Как с ними говорить? Ладно, не знаю, что.
You got a bed for the night. You taken care of. Lothering's full up with refugees. Speak up. A Grey Warden, oh. Looks like you can fend.
Ну и до свидания тогда.
How dare you accuse me of thievery? I saw you take the supplies from my car. Your grassland eyes are inept. A chastened would never stoop to petty theft. You marsh folk are all thieves and liars.
Enough! People here are already desperate and frightened. They don't need you two coming to blows.
We never had
But what about my food?
I said enough!
А, это не квест. Ладно.
Shokke basit hisra. Mera de twasit. Abana kyun. Maras shokra. Ananne sam kyun.
Привет, мой хороший.
You aren't one of my captors. I have nothing to say that would amuse a dwarf. Leave me in peace. A prisoner. I'm in a cage, am I not? I've been placed here by the Chantry. I am Sten of the Beresad, the vanguard of the Kunari peoples. If you haven't heard of us, that is your own shortcoming. Though it matters little now. I will die soon enough.
This is a proud and powerful creature, trapped as prey for the Darkspawn. If you cannot see a use for him, I suggest releasing him for mercy.
Mercy? I wouldn't have expected that from you.
I would also suggest that Alistair take his place in the cage.
Yes, that's what I would have expected.
I suggest you leave me to my fate. Tempting, but I shall decline. Were you in my position, would you prolong your imprisonment? My preference is death in battle. Failing that, I will wait for the Darkspawn. I have been convicted of murder. Have the villagers not spoken of this? There is no difficulty in capturing prey that surrenders. The people of a farm hold 8 humans, in addition to the children. Are you asking if I feel guilt or if I am responsible for the deed? However I feel, whatever I've done, my life is forfeit now. Either you have an enviable memory or a pitiable life to know nothing of regret. 20 days now. I shouldn't last much longer, another week at most. Compared to your kind, maybe. Death will be my atonement. I would prefer to die in battle, but my choices have been made. The Blight. Are you a Grey Warden, then? Surprising. My people have heard legends of the Grey Warden's strength and skill, though I suppose not every legend is true. Perhaps if you told her the Grey Wardens need my assistance, it seems as likely to bring my death as waiting. Farewell.
A penitent man left to be torn to pieces by Darkspawn. 'Tis a fine example of the chant.
Блин, надо бы заканчивать. Мне завтра на работу с утра. Алиса.
Hello, stranger. I don't suppose you know anyone that can make traps? Old man Barlin said that Darkspawn may be coming soon. He's got traps on his farm. I think Barlin wants to poison his traps. I just want normal traps. He doesn't have any poison yet, thank the Maker. So his few... He can be a bit eccentric. None to be had. Barlin has all the traps in the village in his fields. I didn't mean...
Just how smart are Mabari supposed to be, anyway? Do you think they understand everything we say? Oh, is that so? You could just be listening to the tone of my voice. You could be an utter moron for all we know. Hey, hey, hey now! There's nothing saying that a moron can't be cute and adorable. Who's the cute and adorable puppy? Ignorance is bliss, isn't it? That's what the Chantry kept telling me anyhow.
Ливки бы тебе горло перегрызла. Ну как-то ж ты ее охмурил. Блин, а хочу ли я его убирать с своего отряда, оставляя только мужа с женой?
On it.
Интересно жить и пограничить, что все на лесу истребленские шайки. Ладно, я возьму всех весты, но...
Right. This should be...
Will you be making a donation to the Chantry, my friend? You look like you have salvaged more of value than most who make it here. A great number of people could be fed and clothed for a fraction of your finery. What can I do for you, then? It might have been kinder to execute him, but I leave his fate to the Maker. Why does he interest you? Then his next victims might count you and me as their murderers. Your custody? And who might you be? A Grey Warden. Oh dear, I will have to ask you to leave before you bring trouble on our heads. To defend against the Blight? Perhaps that is a form of atonement. But are you certain you can control him? No, I cannot. There will be too much trouble for us if we are seen cooperating with you.
Now we threaten priests. How fun!
Whoa, whoa! Let's not get out of hand here.
What is the meaning of this? You would threaten me with violence?
Your Reverence, please. We are on an important mission. Let us take the Kunari off your hands. I beg you.
I see. And if not, I am to be assaulted?
No, Your Reverence. I will not allow...
I have more important matters to concern me. Here, take the key to the creature's cage and begone. Do not return.
Блин. Ладно. Я пока еще не разобралась, какая у меня будет фантазма по характеру. Так что пусть все как будет. Надеюсь, не заруиню себе.
Do you really know what's going on here? The Blight, the Civil War? I really wonder how much of it you understand. We're all special, big parts to play. Even you, especially you in some ways. You are the Mabari. You guard one of the most important people... What? You want to play? But I'm talking. Why doesn't anyone want to hear me talk?
Господи, они такие милые. Я хочу отряд из 5. Дайте мне отряд из 5.
You wish something more of me? I confess, I did not think the priestess would part with it. Perhaps we have different ideas of freedom. So be it. Set me free and I will follow you against the Blight. And so it is done. I will follow you into battle. In doing so, I shall find my atonement. May we proceed?
Oh, blast it. Yes.
Blast and damnation.
Yes.
Блин. Так. Убежище Дэн, большой мир. Блин, тут, по-моему, враги будут. Лучше сюда не лезть. А, и тут можно отряд сменить. О, отлично.
Vashaden.
Indeed.
Это, конечно, лапушка, но побыть пока. Кампе, да.
On it.
Ну не надо. Ладно. Блин, надо было скалу купить.
Away with you, foul creatures! Leave us alone!
Надо было тебе щит оставить, честно.
A bit more dying, please. Right. On it.
Mighty timely arrival there, my friend. I'm much obliged. You want a reward, eh? I suppose. How does 100 silver sound? I was going to use that to fix up the cart, but quite frankly, I'll be grateful enough that my son and I come out of this with our heads. Good. One good turn. The name's Bodon Feddick, merchant and entrepreneur. This here is my son, Sandal. Say hello, my boy.
Hello.
Road's been mighty dangerous these days. Mind if I ask what brings you out here? Perhaps we're going the same way. Fair enough. Allow me to say thank you again, and bid you...
Goodbye.
Now then, let's get this met.
This should be easy enough.
Так, так, прочитать все связано с заданием. Это... Я не вернусь, пускай себе ищут, а боятся меня найти. Но тебе, Мэйли, не следует жить этой жизнью. Я был бы рад, если для тебя нашлось местечко, как башни круга. Я оставила там кое-какие вещицы, в основном украденные у червей. Передай их, начни новую жизнь. В учебном зале в среднем нише. Прощай. Ладно. Я хочу понять, как действует вот эта фигня. Это ломать, что ли, надо? Может, Тайна ты сможет раз делать. Так. Я ж могу туда вернуться?
Bad dreams, huh? It's just that you were shouting in your sleep, loud, and not in a good, this is private way either. You see, part of being a Grey Warden is being able to hear the Darkspawn. That's what your dream was, hearing them. The Archdemon, it talks to the Horde, and we feel it just as they do. That's why we know this is really a blight. It takes a bit, but eventually you can block the dreams out. Some of the older Grey Wardens say they can understand the Archdeacon. Anyhow, when I heard you thrashing around, I thought I should tell you. It was scary at first for me too. Other than dying young and the whole defeat the Blight alone thing. Anyhow, you're up now, right? Let's pull up camp and get him.
Сломанные текстурки. Зашибись. Блин, они перезагрузятся, если я перезагружу игру. Даешь ты. Ладно. Имеем. Что имеем?
Ah, it's good to see you, my timely rescue. Now, before you say anything, I do recall that your business is private. But I saw your camp. I'm perfectly willing to offer you a fine discount for the inconvenience of our presence. How does that sound? Good? Yes? Anything, everything, but all of the finest quality. No cheap trinkets here. And my boy Sandal happens to be a bit of a hand with... Sadly, it also makes us a target for bandits and the like. If there were spare hands to hire as guards, I would have done so long ago. Following you? I'm not even certain where you're going, my friend. And quite frankly, trust me when I say that my encountering you here was serendipity and nothing more. If you prefer, I'll take my boy and be on my way. But regretfully, you're the safest spot on this road, without a doubt. Wonderful. Thank the kind lady, won't you, boy?
Thank you, kind lady.
We won't be a bother to you and your companions, I assure you. If you should need enchantments, simply talk to my boy. Otherwise, come speak with me.
Hello.
The boy's a bit simple, but he's rather good with enchantments. One of those tranquil fellas actually called him a... what was it now? A savant. I had no idea such a thing existed. He can fold lyrium into almost any weapon or piece of armor, though naturally some of the more extravagant. It's a process that some of the master smiths back in Orzammar will perform.
Enchantment!
And there you have it.
Enchantment!
Блин, вот эти текстуры, конечно. Ладно.
You're a hard woman to find. Where are my manners? The name is Levy Dryden. Did Duncan ever mention me? Levy of the coins? Levy the trader? Really? He never told you of old Levy? But here I am carrying on while you have a blight to stop. Don't want to waste your time. But you see, Duncan promised that together we'd look in this... But poor Duncan's... well, no more. A tragedy it is, at that. But I know he would want his work carried on. His pledge fulfilled. My family... well, past a bit checkered to see. My great-great-grandmother, Sophia Dryden, was the last Warden Commander of Ferelden back when... So King Arland banished the Wardens, and he took House Dryden's land and titles. Duncan wanted to reclaim the old Grey Warden base, Soldier's Peak. And perhaps we'll... Nobody's been to Soldier's Peak since the Grey Wardens were banished, but I found a way. They say it's haunted, and it's certainly dangerous. Will you help me? Soldier's Peak is strategic and symbolic importance. He also hoped to recover lost Warden history and perhaps a few old relics. No one knows what's up there now.
Господи.
Oh, why, you little... Your furry friend here took offense at me getting near his food. He snapped at me, look. Sometimes I forget that he's a war dog. I once heard a really old legend about how the hound warriors in the days of the old tribes would feed... Well, that's what I heard anyway. It would sometimes... Oh, like you can tell the difference. For all you know, maybe you've already been fed something. Someone.
Look at what your fool dog placed in my pack. A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables. You are welcome to this if you really want it. The dirty mongrel can have this back. There. And tell him not to do it again. I just did. I don't want it, you worthless fur. Oh, he's just trying to be manipulative, I can tell. I do it too.
Блин, отстаньте от пса, пожалуйста.
You are a true warrior and worthy of respect.
Как подарок дать? У меня же есть кость.
Why are we stopping? There are darkspawn to be fought. Is this delay needful? You are concerned. No need. I am fit enough to fight. No. Get used to disappointment. People are not simple. They cannot be summarized for easy reference in the manner of, the elves are a lithe, pointy-eared people who excel at poverty. I am. The Antam are the eyes, hands, and mouth of the Kunari. We are how my people know the world. No, I didn't. Yes. There is no point to this. We are keeping the Darkspawn waiting. What a strange language you speak. You say hurry, where I would say duty. No, it is yours, and you are chatting with me instead. As you wish. Yes. Sitting, as you observed. Your grasp of the obvious is remarkable. Warden, if I truly disliked you, that I am still here, you may interpret however you choose. I did. Parshera, was there anything else? Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on. I am hardly surprised. To answer a question. Were you not at Ostagar when the arm... That is your answer. Yes. Never. I cannot go home. It doesn't matter. Can we move on? We keep the Darkspawn waiting. Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on. I am hardly surprised. Very well. As you wish. Yes. I am hardly surprised. Very well. Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on. As you wish.
You considered my offer? Soldier's Peak has been abandoned too long, if you ask me. Darkspawn surfaced in southern Ferelden, and Duncan got plenty busy recruiting. Duncan said he would help after the Battle of Ostagar. Said they might, but he never had the chance.
Блин, это галочка. Воскресать нельзя, это не мешает.
Indeed.
Yes.
Ой. Не туда.
Right.
А где Флеминг?
On it.
Где-то нигде. Ну ладно. Сейчас Алистера оставим дома.
Cursed creatures.
Блин, я все время буду с этими сломанными текстурками. Карлов вожак. О, пойду
Trap.
на
Trap. 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 Trap.
Oh! Right.
Run while you can! Cross me and you Run while you can! Wipe them out!
Trap. Trap. Trap.
Why do I get myself in these scrapes? On it. On it.
Блин, я так не могу. Сейчас попробую зубы перезайти. Так у меня и так на средних ёшкин кот. Так, перезапускаем. Поставила звук на сильно. Сильно не похерится у вас. Если нет, то скачай потом эту. Слава! Звук, конечно, фигня.
Look, can we talk for a moment? I need to tell you something. I, should probably have told you earlier. I don't know. I doubt it. Well, let's see. How do I tell you this? We're almost at Redcliffe. Did I say how I know Arl Eamon, exactly? I'm a bastard. My mother was a serving girl at Redcliffe Castle, and she died when I was born. Arl Eamon took me in. The reason he did that was because, well, because my father was King Marek, which made Kaelin my half-brother, I suppose. Maker's breath, I hope not. I don't think so. You don't think so, do you? I'm a bastard. I would have told you, but it never really meant anything to me. I was in... Everyone who knew either resented me for it or they coddled me. Even Duncan kept me out of the fighting because of it. I didn't want you to know as long as possible. I'm sorry. Why wouldn't he? He was King Marek's best friend. I don't know if that means anything, though. Arl Eamon eventually married a young woman from Orlais, despite all the problems it caused with the king so soon after the war. Anyway, the new Arlessa resented the rumors which pegged me as the Arl's bastard. They weren't true, but of course. So off I was packed to the nearest monastery at age 10. Just as well. The Arlessa made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me. She may have, but I think it's more likely that she feared the rumors might be true. I can't blame her. I remember I had an amulet with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my mother's. Stupid, stupid thing to do. The owl came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn. I hated it there and blamed him for everything. And eventually he just stopped and raised my dogs. Or I may as well have been, the way I acted. But maybe all young bastards act like that, I don't know. All I know is that the Arl is a good man and well-loved by the people. He also was King Kaelin's uncle, so he has a... So there you have it. Now can we move on? And I'll just pretend you still think I'm some nobody who was too lucky to die with the rest of the Grey Wardens. No, I suppose not.
Окей, диалог мы проиграли, можно его отправить домой. Сначала тебя расти... Блин, ну не надо, если честно, отправиться обратно в лагерь.
I don't understand. You look like a woman. Flirting. I don't know this word. You are a Grey Warden, so it follows that you can't be a woman. Women are priests, artisans, shopkeepers, or farmers. They don't fight. What does that have to do with anything? No one gets to choose who they are. A person is born, Kunari or human or elven or dwarf. He doesn't choose that. The size of his hands, whether he is clever or foolish, the land he comes from, the color of his hair, these are beyond his control. We do not choose. Can they? We'll see.
Ну нет, ну не обижайся на меня. Ну что я сделала?
Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on. I am hardly surprised. Very well. As you wish.
Господи, сын, тебя бы Ариса сожрала с потрохами. Ладно. Будем об этом. У меня есть одежда? О, у меня одежда какая-то. Стэн.
What do you need? Ask away. You never asked? No, no, calm down. I'm not trying to make you more upset. Let me explain. The thing is, I'm used to not telling anyone who didn't already know. It was always a secret. Even Duncan was the only Grey Warden who knew. And then, after the battle, when I should have told you, I don't know, it seemed like it was too late by then. How do you just tell someone that? Yes, well, I suppose part of me kind of liked you not knowing. More dangerous than the regular kind of danger? It's just that anyone who's ever found out has treated me differently afterwards. I was the bastard. I know that must sound stupid to you, but I hate that it shaped my entire life. I never wanted it, and I certainly don't want to be king. The very idea of it terrifies me. For all the good it does me, my blood seems certain to haunt me no matter. I guess I should be thankful that Al Eamon is far more likely to inherit the throne than I am. He's not royal blood, but he was capable. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for not telling you sooner. I guess I was just hoping that you would like me for who I am. It was a dumb... No, but now I wish I were. I guess it's kind of a relief that you know.
Блин, а как посмотреть их привязанность это вот всё? А, тут есть снизу строчка. О, Стэн.
Yes. I am hardly surprised. Very well. As you wish.
Так, знаете, наверное, сейчас погуглю, где все спутники. И сделаем этот стрим, и я пойду спать, потому что мне реально рано на работу вставать. Так, подождите. Я, кажется, просрала Лёлю. Скажи, что ей это не так.
Yes.
Так, ты что тут тележку поставил?
You have coin, stranger? With Orzammar closed off, old Tegrin can give you a discount. Fine weapon and arms, dwarven made. There's two things I'm here for. Travel or trade.
Серьезно? Не-а. Ладно, Али, мы с тобой разберемся потом. Мы туда не пойдем. Аля, ты милашка, но, блин, чуть не заруинил мне прохождение. Так. Сцену я выпустила. ладно, разберемся с своим лагерем. Мне нужны таверны. Блин, ну вроде не ломался лабиринт, когда мы ходили до Флемет. Попробуем сходить, поискать.
Did you speak to that knight yet?
Если не получится, то, блин, Зев
Well,
рано подождет.
look what we have here, then.
Uh-oh. Low gains.
Didn't we spend all morning asking about a dwarf by this very description? And everyone said they had...
It seems we...
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for...
They're more than that. Now stay out of our way, sister. You protect these traitors, you'll get the same as them.
I doubt he would listen. He blindly follows.
I am not the blind one. I served at Ostagar, where the... Enough talk! Take the warden into...
Right.
I sense something drawing near.
A bit more time!
Let's get started.
Right. I never liked this part. Here comes trouble! I am your death! Run while you can!
We surrender.
Good. They've learned their lesson and we can all stop fighting now.
Please wait!
They have surrendered. They were no match for you. Let them be. But they failed, and I do not wish death on anyone.
us again.
Серьезно, Лёля?
I apologize for interfering, but I couldn't just sit by and not help. Save my life. I assure you, I can handle myself. So now you know all about me. We just met. Well, that can be quick. Let me introduce myself. I am Liliana, one of the lay sisters of the... Those men said you're a Grey Warden. You will be battling the Darkspawn, yes? That is what Grey... I know after what happened, you will need all the help you can get. That's why I'm coming along. The Maker told me to. I know that sounds absolutely...
More crazy? I thought we were all...
Look at the people here. They are lost in their despair. What you do, what you are meant to do, is the Maker's work. Let me help.
Perhaps your skull was cracked worse than Mother...
Thank you. I appreciate being...
You're here about food. Take it up with... I got other gear to sell.
I've got a cousin in the Templars. He says the mages in the tower out on Lake Callanpod are all turning into demons.
They always say that, though.
Well, this time it's true. They're not sure what to do about it, he says.
What's to do? I thought you killed them.
Easier said than done. Mages.
Она хочет драться. Я не могу ничего сделать. Смотрите на нее. Господи, эти баги. Окей, ладно, она слепая, ей норм. Так. Так, попробуем вернуться обратно. И понадеемся, что вот он не сломается. Так, подождите, нам не сюда.
So let's talk about your mother for a moment.
I'd rather talk about your mother.
Well, there's nothing to talk about. And besides, isn't your mother a scary witch who lives in the middle of a forest? Much more interesting.
To you, perhaps. You would find the moss growing upon a stone interesting.
You know what's more interesting than that? Apostates, mages outside of the tower. That's illegal, you know.
You did not read that in a book somewhere, did you? I hope the small letters did not strain you overmuch.
Oh, we could not talk about your mother. That works for me.
Хех. Пытается быть блогером. будьте с нами, парень. Я погуглю дальше.
We done heard what was said. I don't know if you killed King Kalen and make her for... But that bounty on your head could feed a lot of...
Enemies approaching. Let's get started. This should be easy enough. Show me what you know. Time for some fun. Let's get started. I didn't know. You will learn to fear. Right.
Bad dreams, huh? It's just... the archdemon, it talks to the... Anyhow, when I heard you thrashing around...
Why are we stopping? There are darkspawn to be fought. Is this delay needful? You are concerned. No need. I am fit enough to fight. No. Get used. People are not simple. They cannot be summarized for easy... I am. Decide. I am a Sten of the Beresad. I did not choose to be who I am any more than you did. The Antam are the eyes, hands, and mouth of the Kunari. We are how much compared to what? What does anyone truly know of the world? The world changes. We change. The Antam... There is no point to this. We are keeping the Darkspawn waiting. What a strange language you speak. You say hurry, where I would say... No, it is yours, and you are chatting with me instead. As you wish. Yes. Sitting, as you observed. Your grasp of the obvious is remarkable. Warden, if I truly dislike that I am still here, you may interpret however you choose. I did. Parshera, was there anything else? Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on. I am hardly surprised. To answer a question. Were you not at Ostagar when the... That is your answer. Yes. Never. I cannot go home. Thank you. Can we move on? We keep the Darkspawn waiting. Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on. I am hardly surprised. Very well. As you...
Ah! I'm perfectly willing to offer you a
Hello.
The boy's a bit simple, but... And there you have it.
Yes? Well, here I am. What is meant by someone like me? And there were no beautiful, charming women in the cloisters, you think? You would be wrong. There were many lovely young initiates in the Lothering cloister, all of them chaste and virtuous, because then they were forbidden, and forbidden fruit is the sweeter, no? My fruit? I can't believe I'm having this conversation. But no, I did not take vow. The Chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed. I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with... And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different... let's move on. Yes? Well, here I am. I knew this would come up sooner or later. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. I fell, and the darkness drew me in. When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith. In my dream, I fell, or maybe I jumped. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the Blight devours everything? I don't know. He made this world. He could destroy it. But there is so much worth saving. You're such a pet. Yes? Well, here I am. Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think. Of course, Orlesians enjoy telling stories. I shall tell you my favorite tale of Aveline, the Knight of Orlais. A long time ago, a girl child was born to a farmer. He had hoped for a son not before the cold could claim her. The baby was found by a tribe of Dalish. Aveline, for that is what they called her, grew. She learned to wield the sword as well as any man, could kill a deer with an arrow at 100 paces, and was as graceful on the back of a horse as she was on foot. Aveline's Dalish guardians saw that she could easily best any Orlesian chevalier in battle, and wanted to show the cruel humans they bestowed upon her a fine horse and armor, and sent her to prove herself. Now in those days, no woman was allowed to take up arms, let alone compete in the grand tourney, but Aveline kept her helmet on, and was not discovered. Aveline won many events, and gained the approval of the adoring crowd. Eventually, Aveline had already bested him in the joust, and Kaleva was... Out of desperation to regain his honor, Kaleva tripped. Silence fell upon the arena as Aveline was revealed. Kaleva declared the previous competition, but the crowd cheered for Aveline. Kaleva was furious, for he... Blinded by his rage, he forced Aveline to her knees. "Know your place, woman!" cried. The son of the king, Prince Freyan, was present. He recognized Aveline's skill. When he was made king, he rewrote the laws of Orlais so that women could also become chevalier. He honored, and to this day, any female who is knighted reveres Aveline the Brave, for she is the patron of all women chevalier. I know one, told to me by my mother a long time ago. It always chilled me to the bone. Maybe you have heard of Flemeth? Are you sure? Was she the Flemeth of legend? Flemeth, the devourer of men? Flemeth, mother of witches? Well, if Flemeth really exists, Ferelden mothers scare their daughters with talk of Flemeth. They say that if you're bad, they also say that Flemeth mourns her lost beauty and will steal yours through your looking glass if she catches you. Flemeth's beauty was known throughout the land. She had hair like unto a moonless night. When she came of age, she came to the attention of Conobar. Soon learned that his young bride had the gift of magic. He kept this a secret, for Flemeth stayed with Conobar for some years, and with his blessing. And then one day, a young poet named Osen came to the castle. Flemeth was captivated by Osen's voice. Flemeth longed to be with her true love, and she and Osen fled from Conobar's land. They lived there happily for many a year, till the day Flemeth received. Flemeth's heart swelled with pity for the man who once was her husband. But when Flemeth and Osen entered Highever, they were captured. Flemeth was imprisoned in the highest tower of the castle. Distraught at the loss of her love, Flemeth plotted revenge against her husband. She summoned the demon possessed Flemeth, turning her into an abomination. The last of Flemeth's humanity melted away, and at dawn, they say she took to her side many chastened men, and with their help begat her daughter witches, who even now prowl the dark places of the Korcari wilds. Chantry lore says it is man. In ages past, the mages of the Tevinder Imperium ruled. In their pride, they thought their magics invincible and imagined that they were greater than the Maker himself. So thinking, they invaded his golden city, planning to take it for them. But they were impure and full of sin. And it is with the sin that the Maker cursed them and cast them from his sight. Where any land that was touched by the taint became blighted and would suffer no life. Instead, the Darkspawn arose to torment us. Which one? I have heard a little about how the elves, when Andraste began her exalted march against the great elven leader, Shatan, born in captivity, rose up to. Shatan was killed when Andraste was betrayed, but the elves claimed the Dales in the south and settled there in the land of their own. The elves lived in the Dales for centuries. They resurrected the worship of This angered the Chantry, and the hostility between the two factions finally broke out in open war. The Chantry declared a wholly exalted march against the elves, named for Andraste's similar march. During the exalted march of the Dales, the elven city, some of the elves bitterly accepted their fates and surrendered to human rule, but others, still fiercely proud of their heritage, refused to bow to the humans, and instead, Andraste was the Maker's chosen. The Maker had long since abandoned the world when the sound of her beauty, grace, and wisdom enraptured him, and he offered to take her from this flawed world. But Andraste had an earthly husband and would not forsake him. Instead, so earnest was her plea that the Maker was moved and promised that he would. And this is why Andraste began her exalted march on the idolaters of the Tevinter Imperium. The Maker Andraste brought the Imperium to its knees, and her victories converted many to the worship of the Maker. Yes? Well, here I am. Quiet. It was a lot in the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, but it was not perfect. Some of my chantry fellows were condescending. That is the nature of religious folk, I suppose. When I talked about my beliefs, that the Maker reveals himself in the... They want to believe that he's gone, so that when he turns his gaze on them, it means they are special. He cannot possibly have love for all, the sick and the weary, the beggars and the fools. Thank you. Maybe I am wrong. But it is the Maker's place to decide if I... But there is work to be done.
What do you need? Ask away. Oh, did I say that? I meant that dogs raised me. Giant slobbering dogs from the Anderfells. A whole pack of them, in fact. Well, if you're going to go and pay attention... Let's see, how do I explain this? I'm a bastard. And before you... My mother was a serving girl in Redcliffe Castle who died when I was very young. Our Lehman wasn't my father. He was good to me. And he didn't have to be. I respect the man, and I don't blame him anymore for sending me off to the Chantry once I was old enough. I know who I was told was my father. He died even before my mother did, anyhow. Our Lehman eventually married a young woman from Orlais, which caused all sorts of problems between him and the king because it was so soon. Anyhow, then you, Arlessa, resented the rumors which pegged me as his bastard. They were... So off I was packed to the nearest monastery at age 10. Just as well. The Arlessa made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me. Probably. It was just a kindness he did to a woman who had served him anyway. I didn't sleep on silk sheets in the keep, or... I remember I had an amulet with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious. Stupid, stupid thing to do. The Jarl came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn. I hated it there, and blamed him for everything. And raised my dogs. Or I may as well have been, the way I acted. All I know is that the Jarl is a... Anyway... Oh, why, you little... Me harassing your dog? Your furry friend here took offense at me getting near his food. He snapped at me. Sometimes I forget that he's a war dog. That'll teach. I once heard a really old...
Look at what you're... A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find. You are... The dirty mongrel can have this back. There. I don't want it. Oh, he's just trying to be manipulative, I can tell. I do it too.
You are a true warrior and worthy of respect.
Ладно, в этот раз я не испортила момент своим ржачем. бы море оставить вместо стена. Потому что он так ого кастует.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes. Look, can we talk for a moment? I need to tell you something. I should probably have told you earlier. The reason he did that was because, well, because my father was king. Makers. Everyone who knew either resent... At any rate, that's it. That's what I had to tell you. I thought you should know about it. Let's hope not. So there you have it. Now can we move on? And I'll just pretend you... No, I...
Так, мы с Алистером поговорили.
Blast it.
И Севранна, и все.
You have coin, stranger? With Orzammar closed off, fine weapon and arms, dwarven made. There's two things I'm here for. Travel or...
дальше? Стоп, в смысле? Вот рынок целый? Ёля, остынь. Это что было?
Let's get started.
Окей. А, хрустелкой мы оставляем тогда на всякий случай. Так, Лёля еще хотел повесить. Или все-таки тут все погибли? Ну это кости понятно, я оставила. Что-то людей не вижу, кажется, я да нет, все нормально. Окей, можно будет выполнять квесты. Я же сохранилась перед походом, да? Нет, конечно. Блин. Ладно, пойдем бандер нас. Не, ну лук жесткий.
To the shadows.
We done her, boy.
Yeah!
There we go.
On your guard.
I see.
On it.
As you wish. Let's get started.
Простите, извините. Я хочу сюжетные бои.